Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for participating in the 49 IAGI Annual Convention and Exhibitions. In this pandemic era, I really hope that everyone is safe and healthy. Today, I will present my team research with the title Utilizations of Information and Technology on Mobile Application Development as 4.0 Indonesian Geotourism Evolvement, with case study Malang Regency, East Java. Before we continue the presentations, let me introduce myself. My name is Iqbal Pradana. I am majoring in Geophysical Engineering in Brawijaya University. This is the research team. I myself as the first author, Jihan Hardiyanti Arief as the second author, Susi Fadilah as the third author, and Zydan Thariq as the fourth author. The presentation will be start with introductions, continued by data and method, results and discussions, and ended with conclusion. Introductions. I will explain the background of this research. Indonesia tourism sector has been developing in a progressive way these past years, starting from back then in 2015, when our President Joko Widodo stated that tourism sector is one of the key role in Indonesia economic growth. From these key points, we choose geotourism, which is one of the newest concept in the field of tourism that primarily focus on promoting geological and geomorphological features as the tourist attractions, without forgetting other critical factors such as economy, facilities, cultural, and ecology. We choose Malang Regency as our research area because Malang has a good geotourism potentials. The first reason is the increasing domestic tourists. In 2020, Badan Pusat Statistik Malang released a domestic tourist data of Malang from 2014 to 2019. We can see that each year, the domestic tourist visit to Malang is increased, reaching 5 million people in 2019. The other reason is because the diversity of geology in Malang Regency. This is the geological map of Malang Regency, derived from geological map of Turan Quadrangle, Sujanto et al., published in 1992. This is the location of Malang in East Java. We can see that Malang is composed of various geological formations. Malang itself is surrounded by several mountains. Some are active volcanoes such as Mount Semeru and Mount Bromo. And if we see the southern part, which right here, we can see the remnants of tertiary volcanic activity that only can be found in several locations in Java Islands. Because of these reasons, a lot of people has been conducted research in conventional way in this Malang Regency. We want to take a step further by doing a technology-based research for geotourism development. What we can do is we can create that digital database, website, or mobile application. In this research, we choose to create a mobile or Android applications as the digital solutions for the geotourism development. The application name is GeoTravel. Before we continue to the applications, I will explain the basis theory that we use in this research. One of it is quantitative assessment method by Badan Geologi, which is a technical guideline created in 2017 for assessing locations' geotourism potentials, with the key roles are scientific value, education value, tourism value, and degradation risk value. The scientific value is showing the potentials of the location to be interpreted or used as a research material, mainly in its geological heritage. The key factors are heritage of geology sites, location diversity, scholarly knowledge, and etc. The second factor are educational value, which shows the potential of locations to become lessons that can be learned at every level of educations, to be lessons or learning materials, with the key factor are susceptibility, geological heritage conditions, geology diversity, research information potentials, etc. The third factor are tourism value, which focus more on the economic and cultural side of the tourism itself, where the key factors are shown below. The fourth one is degradation risks. Degradation risks show the possibility of geological heritage site being damaged due to natural conditions or human activity. The key factors are adjacent to the potential that cause degradations, damage to geology, and legal protections. We continue to data availability and method. This is Malang Regency area. We choose around 31 locations, which we record the data. The data recorded are distance from Malang stations, location descriptions, pictures, degradation rates, education value, tourism value, and scientific value. These four values are already explained before. After we get the data, we assess each location's geotourism potentials by using geotourism assessment by Badan Geology that has been explained before. After we assess the potential of Malang Regency, we select several data mainly because of its numerical reasons. We select distance from Malang stations, degradation risk, educational value, tourism value, and scientific value to be processed furthermore. The first processing are normalizations of the data. We need to normalize the data because this selected data has a different scale of value. Before we normalize this data into two classes. The first class is non-beneficial value, which is descent from Malang stations, and degradation risks that will decrease the performance of locations' potentials, while the beneficial data will increase the final performance of locations. Okay, then we take user preference input. There are 6 factors of input, which correspond to the explained factors before, like scientific, education, cultural, distance, and degradation risk importance. This user input still have a 0 to 5 scale, a scale that commonly used in rating an object or locations. So we need to calculate the relative weight with these equations. W is weight and G is the attributes. After we convert the user preference input to the relative weight, we will get a 0 to 1 scale data or 0 to 100% scale data. The relative weight will be used in calculating the performance score by weighted product method. This is the equations of weighted product method. P is the performance score, AK is the locations, J or YG is the weight of each attributes. Weighted product is a commonly used method to decide whether allocations or a decision is right or good with multi-attributes. Before we present the data to the user, we need to rescale the data. We need to multiply it by 5, so the data will be back at scale 0 to 5, and we can present the data to the users. The data we have created will be stored in our table database, and we will design the application using Figma, and we will populate the data in the native applications using Bravo. Okay, we can continue to the results, discussions, and application features. The first result is the quantitative assessment results. From this method of the technical guideline by Badan Geology, Banyu Anjok Beach has the highest total score with 6.2 out of 8 score, while the Pyrophilic Mine has the lowest total score, 3.5 out of 8 score. Aside from quantitative assessment, we also classify the degradation of the locations by its degradation risk value. Banyu Anjlok has a low degradation risk with value 1.8 out of 4, while Pyrophilic Mine has a high degradation risk with 3.2 out of 4 value. This is one of the reasons why Banyu Anjlok Beach has the highest total score, while Pyrophilic Mine has the lowest total score. The other reasons could be the factors of the uniqueness and the variety of geological heritage that Banyu Anjlok has. Unfortunately, there are several geotourism locations or sites that permanently close while we conduct this research, such as Pakistan Beach, Cilik Beach, and Glodakan Beach. The reasons of close is unknown. Aside from doing the assessment by by Badan Geology, we also calculate the weighted product results. Um, are the two examples. The first examples, we take a full performance score of each important factor. Aside from distance will be used as the lowest score, and the application will recommend Banyu Anjlok as the topmost location to be visited. While on the right example, the second example, we use more random inputs in the factor, and the application will give Sumber Maron as the most recommended application to be visited. This is mainly because the distance importance has the score of 5/5, which means the distance importance will be considered more in the calculations. We can continue to the application features. This is the homepage where we can find favorite or trending places, most around 8 top visited location in Malang Regency area. User can select the locations and find location based on their wants. The second features are search locations, where the user can filter locations and search location by its keywords or its name. The score that showed in this page is based on the assessment of Badan Geologi. We also have the location details. When users select the locations, it will show the details of locations such as the geological location descriptions, the category, the photo gallery, and the scores of assessments. The details will also show the locations of the sites on the maps and the 360-degree view of the locations. This is the main feature that we created. The user preference and weighted recommendation that I already explained before, where user can input their preferences in 0 to 5 scale, and the application will calculate and recommend the location with the highest score calculated using the preference. And the final feature is traveling journal, where user can share their stories or expeditions to other users while visiting the geotourism area. This is the summary of the feature that our application has. With our tagline, Geotourism, Geotravel, let's go travel. Because this application has quite good potentials, we also conduct a SWOT analysis. The strengths are ability to introduce geotourism via applications, and the scoring is based on standardized assessments. User also can define preferences by 5 critical criteria, and the application will recommend the highest score. We only need to update the database in order to add locations, and there are currently no similar applications that have the same basis data and process. The application also has some weaknesses, such as the database use is not on personal server. We still use third parties. There are currently no free user authorization database, so all the database is included in one database. Some location may have the same score after processed by weighted product method due to the same score in the assessment in the first place. The target user may be limited to someone's attractions to geotourism sites. The opportunity of development are, if data can be connected to a geolocation database, it will be much better. We can also use it for iOS if we have a developer account, and we can add more locations to the database without changing the application itself. And unfortunately, the threats are this application concept could be copied. We're entering the conclusions. Finally, from the assessment, we can conclude that Malang Regency is one of the places that has great geotourism potentials, especially in southern Malang, with Banyu Anjlok as the highest score, 6.2 out of 8, and also Banyu Anjlok complex has the recommended location to be visited. Along with digital developments, GeoTravel, our Android applications, can be established to facilitate public in knowing geotourism, hence we can promote geotourism, especially in Malang Regency, and especially the facility for the user to search and find location based on their needs or preferences. These are the references we use on the research. Maybe that's all I can present. Thank you. Best regards from Geotravel. Again, thank you.